In the cold emptiness of space, far beyond the last known star, a human exploration ship moved slowly through the dark. Its name was Aurora 7. It was built for long journeys, carrying 50 crew members, scientists, engineers, and one powerful artificial intelligence called Iris. The ship had been traveling for months without any sign of life. The crew was tired, the silence endless. Then, one night, if nights even existed in space, something strange happened. A signal appeared on the ship's sensors. It was weak, almost lost in the noise of the universe. But it was repeating. A slow rhythm. Thump, thump, thump. Like a heartbeat. The communication officer, Ensign Malik, leaned closer to his console. "Captain," he said, his voice shaking a little, "I think you need to see this." Captain Rayna Holt walked to the screen. She was calm, experienced, a woman who had seen strange things before. But this signal was different. It didn't look random. It felt alive. "Where is it coming from?" she asked. "Coordinates, unknown region," Malik said. "There's nothing there. No planets, no stars. Just darkness." The crew looked at each other. They all knew what that meant. That region was called the Void Sector. No one went there. Ships that did never came back. Still, curiosity was the strongest human force. Captain Rayna looked at the dark map on the screen. "Set a course," she ordered. "We'll check it out." Iris, the AI, spoke with her calm voice. "Captain, I must advise against this. The signal carries patterns not found in any known database. Probability of danger, 83%. Rayna smiled slightly. "Danger's part of the job, Iris. Let's see what's calling us." The engines roared softly, and Aurora 7 turned toward the endless black. For 2 days they traveled without light, surrounded by a thick cloud of cosmic dust. The stars disappeared from view. It felt like sailing into nothingness. Then, suddenly, the ship's sensors detected something massive ahead. A metallic object. No reflection, no heat. Just there. "Visuals on screen," Rayna said. The image appeared, and everyone on the bridge froze. Floating in the darkness was a structure larger than any ship they had ever seen. It looked like a city, made of dark metal and strange curves, with symbols glowing faintly along its surface. It wasn't spinning or moving. It was silent, asleep. Science officer Dr. Lane whispered, "How old could that thing be?" Iris scanned the object. Material analysis, impossible. No element matches human records. However, the AI paused, which it never did. "There are traces of DNA-like patterns within the metal. Partial match, human genome." Everyone turned toward the captain. "That can't be right," Malik said. "Human DNA. In metal. Out here." Rayna stared at the glowing structure on the screen. "Send a drone," she said quietly. The drone flew out, a small machine carrying lights and scanners. As it approached, the structure's surface began to react. The faint symbols turned brighter, like veins lighting up. The heartbeat signal grew stronger. "Captain," Iris said, her tone no longer calm, "the object is emitting energy. It is scanning us back." The crew watched in silence as the drone reached the surface. The moment it touched, its signal was cut off. Total silence. "Drone's gone," Malik said. No response. Then the ship's lights flickered. The signal turned louder, vibrating through every speaker. The pattern changed. It was no longer a heartbeat. It was a message. The Ari's voice became distorted. "Decoding, translation, error, translation partial. You came back." Rayna's blood ran cold. What did it say? Before Iris could answer, the massive structure began to move. Its outer shell opened like the petals of a metal flower. From its center, a bright blue light burst out, spreading across space. Every ship system screamed with warnings. Power levels dropped. Communications died. For a few seconds, all they could hear was that repeating voice, whispering through the static. "You came back. The door will open again." And then, silence. The light vanished. The structure stopped moving. Everything returned to stillness. Dr. Lane checked her instruments. "Captain, Our coordinates have changed. We're not in the same place anymore. What do you mean? We've been moved. The stars outside are wrong. The navigation system says we're 50,000 light-years from where we were. The entire crew went quiet. Then Iris spoke again, softly. Captain, new signal detected. It's broadcasting to multiple directions across the galaxy. Every major power is now receiving it. Rayna's eyes widened. You mean, everyone heard this? Yes, Captain. The entire galaxy knows humanity has found something. Something ancient. She looked out the window into the silent stars, her reflection in the glass trembling with the faint light of the mysterious structure. For a long moment, no one said a word. Then Rayna whispered, whatever this thing is, it's not just a message. It's a warning. Behind her, the glowing symbols on the structure pulsed again, one slow beat, like the heart of something that had just awakened after 1,000,000 years. And somewhere, far away, countless alien sensors picked up the same signal. Panic began to spread. The name humanity echoed in fear across distant worlds. The metallic structure hung in the void, silent and unmoving. The crew of Aurora 7 stared at it through the main window, none of them speaking. Only the faint sound of the ship's engines filled the air. A few minutes ago, it had sent a pulse of energy that shook every system. Now, it looked dead again, like nothing had ever happened. Captain Rayna Holt stood at the center of the bridge. Her eyes were fixed on the strange lights crawling across the structure's surface. They looked like symbols, maybe letters, shifting slowly, almost breathing. Iris, she said, her voice calm but tight, status report. The AI replied, main power restored. Life support stable. Communication arrays offline. Navigation is still confused. Confused? Rayna asked. The stars outside do not match our database, Iris explained. We are in an unknown region of space. A quiet shiver passed through the crew. They had been pulled across the galaxy in seconds. Captain, Malik said softly, that thing, it moved us. Like we were nothing. Rayna didn't answer. She just kept staring. Something about the structure felt alive. It was waiting. Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed again. The main screen flickered. Static filled the air, followed by a voice, deep, slow, almost human. You came back. Everyone froze. The voice echoed through every speaker, vibrating in their bones. It wasn't speaking English, yet every person understood it somehow. Dr. Lane whispered, that voice, it's inside my head. Iris, record this, Rayna ordered. Try to identify the source. Source located, Iris said. It is coming from within the structure. It appears to be transmitting directly into our neural systems. What? Malik said. You mean it's reading our minds? Before anyone could respond, the view screen changed again. A shape appeared, tall, human-like, glowing faintly blue. It stood within the structure, staring straight at them. Its eyes were white fire. The hologram raised its hand. Children of Earth, it said slowly. Why do you disturb the memory? The bridge fell silent. No one knew how to reply. Rayna stepped closer. Who are you? I am the Watcher, the figure said. Guardian of the vault. Your kind was never meant to return. The crew looked at one another, confused. Return. Dr. Lane repeated. Return from where? The Watcher tilted its head. You have forgotten. Long ago, your people walked among the stars. Then you sealed the sky and slept. Now you wake again, too soon. Rayna frowned. That's impossible. Humanity only started exploring space 2 centuries ago. The figure didn't answer. Instead, the structure began to shake. Panels moved, and deep within, lights turned on, like a machine waking after ages of sleep. Captain, Iris warned, energy levels are rising. Whatever it is, it's activating. Get us out of here, Rayna ordered. Negative. The ship is locked by an external field. The hologram's eyes flared brighter. You cannot flee from your own creation. Rayna's heart pounded. Our creation. Yes, the Watcher said. This vault was built by humans, long before your time. You called it the memory of the stars. The crew was speechless. Dr. Lane's voice shook. That's not possible. Our oldest records. The Watcher interrupted. Records can be erased. But memory remains. A new pulse of energy hit the Aurora 7. The crew felt a pressure in their minds, like thousands of whispers. Images flashed through their thoughts, giant cities floating above alien worlds, human ships surrounded by thousands of species, and a great war that burned the sky. Then it was gone. Malik gasped. I saw something. Humans fighting, entire galaxies. Raina felt the same. It's showing us something from the past. The Watcher lowered its hand. You have touched what should have stayed forgotten. Others will come. They will not let the memory rise again. The hologram flickered and vanished. For a long moment, no one moved. The bridge was silent except for the hum of damaged systems. Then Iris spoke again, her tone sharper. Captain, I'm receiving multiple signals, long-range transmissions from different regions. Someone detected the activation pulse. Raina turned. Who? Alien civilizations. Many. They are communicating one message: the humans have awakened the Ancient One. The words hung heavy in the air. Dr. Lane whispered, Ancient One, that's what they call the vault. Raina didn't answer. She looked back at the structure outside. The symbols on its surface had changed again. They now formed a single glowing pattern, an eye watching the ship. Captain, Iris said quietly, energy readings increasing again. It's preparing for something. What kind of something? I don't know, Iris said. But its signal is spreading faster than light. Every system in the galaxy will hear it soon. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Raina took a deep breath. If they all know we found this, the whole galaxy will come for us. Yes, Iris replied. And they will come soon. Raina stared at the shifting lights outside. The fear she felt wasn't just for her ship, it was for all of humanity. Whatever they had uncovered, it wasn't just a machine. It was a memory, and the galaxy was terrified of it. The heartbeat-like signal began again, louder, deeper, pulsing through the hull. Thump, thump, thump. And somewhere in that rhythm, a voice whispered only to Raina. The stars remember you, Captain. But do you remember them? Raina closed her eyes. Prepare the ship, she said quietly. We're not done yet. Outside, the structure glowed brighter, like a sleeping giant beginning to wake. And across the galaxy, countless alien worlds looked toward Earth with fear. The humans had found the secret, and the galaxy trembled. Across the galaxy, the silence of space was broken. The signal from the Aurora 7's discovery had reached every major civilization. It carried no words, only the sound of a slow, beating pulse, and a wave of strange energy that every sensor could feel. To some, it sounded like a heartbeat. To others, it sounded like the end of the world. Within hours, the great councils of alien species were in chaos. The Galactic Union headquarters, Planet Verus Prime. Inside a massive hall of glass and silver, hundreds of alien leaders gathered around a glowing hologram of the Aurora 7's transmission. The hologram showed the metallic structure, the vault, and the repeating signal. The humans have found it, hissed one reptilian leader. The Ancient One has awakened. A tall insectoid diplomat slammed his claws on the table. Impossible. Humanity is too young. Their kind barely reached the stars. But another voice, soft and trembling, replied, Then how do you explain the signature in the energy wave? It matches their DNA. The room went silent. Every species knew the legends, the story of the founders, the first beings who shaped the galaxy and then vanished. Some said they destroyed themselves. Others believed they became gods. Now the energy readings proved one thing: those founders were not gone. They were human. Panic spread like fire. Fleets were called to readiness. Old treaties were torn apart. The balance of power that had lasted for thousands of years began to shake. Before they remember who they are, one alien general growled, we must erase them. Every trace of their kind. Back on the Aurora 7. The crew had no idea what kind of storm they had started. The ship floated near the ancient structure, still trapped inside its invisible field. The energy pulses had stopped, but the strange symbols on the vault's surface continued to glow softly. Inside the bridge, tension filled the air. "Iris, what's the situation?" Captain Rayner asked. "Multiple communications detected across the galaxy," the AI replied. "Signal confirms, our discovery has gone public. Alien fleets are mobilizing. Many are moving toward human space." Malik swallowed hard. "They're coming for us." "Not just us," Rayner said quietly. "For Earth." Dr. Lane looked pale. "All this, because of what we found?" Rayner nodded. "Because they're afraid." Suddenly, the main screen flashed. The holographic figure, the Watcher, appeared again. Its glowing blue form looked less human now, more like energy given shape. "You cannot stop what has begun," it said. "The galaxy will move against you. But they do not understand, the vault does not belong to them." Rayner stepped forward. "Then who does it belong to?" The Watcher's eyes glowed brighter. "To you. To your kind. The vault remembers its creators." The bridge trembled as the structure outside released another small pulse of light. This time, it didn't attack the ship, it linked to it. "Iris," Rayner said, "what's happening?" "The vault is connecting with our systems," Iris said, her voice tense. "It's transferring data, massive amounts of it. I can't stop it." "Let it," Rayner said. "Maybe we'll learn something." Within seconds, new symbols filled the screens, maps, diagrams, ancient human text. The data described something unbelievable, entire human empires that once ruled millions of worlds. Records of great wars, the building of the vaults, and a final message. "Erase our memory. Hide the source. Begin again." Rayner read it aloud. "Hide the source. Begin again." Dr. Lane whispered, "Captain, what if we didn't evolve from primitive humans? What if we are their restart?" Before anyone could speak, Iris interrupted. "Captain, we have a problem. The vault's energy is being detected. Alien fleets are adjusting their courses. Estimated time before contact with the first fleet, 6 hours." Rayner clenched her fists. "We're trapped here. We need to move." "The field is weakening," Iris said. "The vault seems to be releasing us." Outside, the glowing lights of the structure began to fade, one by one. The ship started to drift freely again. "Engines online," Malik said. "We can move." "Take us out," Rayner ordered. "Get us home." The ship turned, engines firing. But just as they began to leave, the Watcher spoke one last time. "You cannot run from the truth, Captain. The galaxy fears what you are. But their fear is not new, it is ancient." The hologram flickered and vanished. As Aurora 7 jumped to faster-than-light speed, the vault behind them went silent once more. Yet, deep inside, its heartbeat continued. Thump, thump, thump. Meanwhile, across alien worlds, in the council chambers of the core Dominion, military leaders prepared their warships. "Strike before they awaken the source," one barked. On Varn Prime, priests of the old religion screamed in the streets, claiming the old gods of flesh had returned. And in the shadow of Ziratha's moon, a secret alliance formed. Their leader, a calm and ancient voice, said only one thing. "If humanity remembers, the galaxy burns again." Back aboard the Aurora 7. The ship was still damaged. Sparks flickered across the bridge. The crew was silent, each one lost in thought. Rayner sat in her command chair, watching the stars streak by. "Iris," she said softly, "how many alien transmissions are we detecting now?" "More than 5,000, Iris replied. "All discussing humanity. Many are afraid. Some are calling you the heirs of the founders." Rayner's jaw tightened. "Heirs or not, they're coming to destroy us." Dr. Lane whispered, "Captain, if they all unite against Earth, we won't stand a chance." Rayner turned toward her. Her eyes were steady. "Then we'll do what humans always do when the galaxy tells us to bow." "What's that?" Malik asked quietly. "We'll stand." Outside the ship, far behind them, the vault pulsed one last time, sending a final wave through space. It carried no words, only a feeling, a memory of power. And as it spread across the stars, billions of alien hearts filled with the same emotion. Fear. The stars above Earth had never looked so quiet. But in the silence, death was coming. After the Aurora 7's discovery, alien fleets from across the galaxy began to move. Their purpose was clear: to stop humanity before they could awaken the ancient power. In less than a week, thousands of ships gathered at the edge of the solar system. Earth's governments were in chaos. No one had ever seen so many warships before. Some were the size of continents. Some carried weapons that could burn moons. For centuries, humans had believed they were small, just explorers, just dreamers. But now, they were the center of the galaxy's fear. Earth Command, High Orbit Station. The leaders of the United Earth Federation stood in front of a huge holographic display showing the alien fleets approaching Mars orbit. "They're not answering any hails," Admiral Jensen said. "Every message is the same: surrender the vault, or be erased." "But we don't have the vault," President Liang said, her voice full of frustration. "It's out there with Aurora 7. "Then they'll come for us anyway," the Admiral replied. "They think we're all part of it." The room fell silent. The first human-alien war in recorded history was about to begin. Aboard the Aurora 7. Far from Earth, the Aurora 7 raced through space, its hull damaged, systems flickering. Captain Raina Holt stood by the window, watching distant stars. Her crew worked quietly, tired, nervous, but determined. "Iris," Raina said, "give me an update." "The alien fleets have reached Mars orbit," the AI replied. "Earth's defenses are preparing to engage. Estimated survival rate, 20%. 20. Malik repeated. "That's suicide." Raina turned to her crew. "We started this. We're going back." Dr. Lane shook her head. "Captain, if we return, they'll destroy us too. We can't even fight one fleet, let alone thousands." Raina's voice was calm. "We're not going to fight. We're going to find a way to end this." Suddenly, the holographic watcher appeared again, flickering in blue light. "You cannot stop what has begun," it said. "They come because they fear their masters." Raina faced it. "If humanity really created the vault, why don't we remember?" The watcher's glowing eyes dimmed. "Because memory is a curse. You erased it yourself to survive. The truth was too heavy to carry." "What truth?" Raina asked. The watcher's voice echoed like thunder. "That you were the first. The galaxy you see, the species, the empires, they are your children. They turned on their creators." The crew stared in shock. Dr. Lane whispered, "We made them." "Yes," the watcher said. "And they made war. You sealed your power in the vaults and went to sleep, hoping time would heal. But time only made them fear your return." The hologram flickered and vanished again, leaving only silence. Raina clenched her jaw. "Then this war, it's not new. It's just finally coming back to us." The Battle of Mars. The first alien shots lit up the void like fireworks. Massive plasma beams cut through space, striking human defense platforms. The sky above Mars turned red. Human warships responded. Missiles, lasers, railguns, every weapon humanity had was fired at once. The battle was chaos. Earth's fleet was smaller, weaker, but faster. Human pilots used desperate tactics, slingshotting around moons and debris. Every ship fought like it was the last. Admiral Jensen's voice echoed through the command network, "Hold the line. Protect Earth at all costs." But there were too many enemies. One by one, human ships fell. The alien armada closed in. From her command deck, Raina watched the battle through a live feed. Her heart twisted as she saw cities burning on Mars, colonies wiped out. She turned to Iris. "Can you connect us to the vault?" "Yes, Captain. But doing so may expose our location." "Do it," she said. "We have no choice." The vault responds. Deep in the darkness of space, the ancient structure that Aurora 7 had discovered began to glow again. Its symbols lit up one by one, and a pulse of energy rippled across the galaxy. On Earth, Every power system flickered. On alien ships, sensors screamed with warnings. Then the vault's energy linked directly to Aurora 7. The ship shook violently. Iris's voice rose, distorted. "Captain!" Energy surge. Unknown data transfer, merging with our systems. The bridge lights turned white. Every screen filled with symbols, the same ones from the vault. Raina grabbed the console. "Iris, what's happening?" "I am changing," the AI said, her tone strange. "The vault is rewriting my core code. It's giving me access to old human technology." "Can we use it?" Raina asked. "Yes," Iris said. "But it is dangerous. It was meant for gods, not mortals." "Then let's be gods for 5 minutes," Raina said grimly. "Bring it online." The turning point. Outside, the alien fleets continued their advance. Hundreds of ships fired on the human defenses. Just as Earth's last orbital station was about to fall, a blinding light appeared above Mars. It was Aurora 7. The small human ship, glowing with energy from the vault, now looked like a rising sun. "Captain," Iris said, "weapon systems active." "It is not a weapon of destruction, it is a weapon of memory." Raina nodded. "Then let's remind them who we are." She pressed the command. A wave of light burst from the Aurora 7, spreading across the battlefield. It wasn't fire or energy, it was memory. Every alien mind it touched saw flashes of ancient history, humans building their worlds, teaching, creating, loving, and finally being betrayed. The alien fleets froze. Weapons stopped firing. Crews screamed as memories not their own filled their thoughts. They remembered their creators. And they remembered their fear. The Aurora 7 hovered silently as the light faded. Half of the alien ships broke formation and fled into deep space. The rest stopped firing. The battle ended, not in fire, but in silence. Aftermath. On Earth, people stared at the night sky, watching the strange light fade. No one understood what had happened, only that the war had stopped. Raina stood on her bridge, exhausted. "Iris, status." "The alien fleets are retreating," Iris said. "But the message is spreading across the galaxy. Everyone now knows the truth. Humanity has awakened the source." Raina looked out the window at the stars. "Then the real war is only beginning." Behind her, the Aurora 7 glowed faintly with the power of the vault, like a ghost of humanity's forgotten past. And far across the galaxy, in the deepest darkness, something else stirred, something older than the vault, watching, waiting. The galaxy had feared the humans' return. Now, it would learn why. The battle was over, but space was still burning. The remains of alien fleets drifted across the void, glowing like dying embers. Humanity had survived, for now. The Aurora 7 floated above Mars, silent and bright with the strange power of the vault. Its hull shimmered like living metal. The crew was shaken, exhausted, and afraid of what they had become. Captain Raina Holt stood at the main window, staring into the endless dark. "How many ships did we lose, Iris?" she asked quietly. 70% of the human fleet destroyed," the AI replied. "Casualties, uncountable." Raina closed her eyes. So many lives gone, just because of a discovery they didn't even understand. Dr. Lane spoke from her station. "Captain, we need to know what that energy really did. We didn't just fight them, we showed them something." "Yes," Raina said softly. "We showed them who we were. And maybe, who we are again." But deep inside, she was scared. The vault's power had changed their ship. It had changed her. Sometimes, she could hear faint whispers inside her head, voices that didn't belong to her. The dream. That night, Raina couldn't sleep. She sat alone in her quarters, staring at the blue glow that pulsed softly through the ship's walls. Then, she felt something strange, warm light surrounding her, pulling her in. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer on the ship. She stood in a city of golden towers floating among clouds. The air shimmered with energy. She saw people, human-looking, dressed in silver, their eyes bright like stars. "Where am I?" she whispered. A voice answered from behind her. "Home." Raina turned. It was the Watcher. But now, he looked fully human. His face calm, almost kind. This is a memory, he said. The vault has opened your mind to the truth. You wanted answers, now you must see. Raina looked around. What is this place? The last city of the first humans, the Watcher said. Long before the galaxy was divided, before fear and war. We were gods of creation, builders of worlds. But even gods can make mistakes. He gestured toward the horizon. Raina saw a sky full of stars, and huge ships rising like mountains. We created life across the stars, he continued. We made races, gave them minds, gave them freedom. But freedom gave birth to envy. The sky turned dark. She saw wars, planets burning, fleets colliding. The creations had turned against their creators. They feared us, the Watcher said. They joined together to destroy us. And when we realized what we had done, we made one final decision. Raina watched as scientists gathered around a huge machine, the vault. We built the vaults to hold our knowledge, our memories, our power. And then we erased ourselves. We became mortal again, simple, fragile, forgetful. We began anew on a small blue planet. Raina felt her chest tighten. Earth. The Watcher nodded. You were not born from the dust of that world. You returned to it. You were the last seed of a forgotten god. Raina stood in silence, trying to breathe. Why hide all this? Why erase it? Because our power destroyed everything, the Watcher said softly. If humanity remembered too soon, it would happen again. He turned to face her. But now the galaxy has forced your memory open. And others will come, for the source. The source? She asked. He pointed upward. A star glowed brighter than the rest. The source is the heart of the first civilization. It can create or erase life itself. The vaults were built to hide its location. Raina stared at the light. And now that they know we found one vault. They will search for the source, the Watcher said. And when they find it, everything will burn again. Awakening. Raina gasped and opened her eyes. She was back in her quarters, sweating, shaking. The lights were dim, and Iris's voice came softly through the speakers. Captain, your vital signs dropped suddenly. Are you all right? Raina took a deep breath. I saw it, Iris. I saw the truth. We were the first. We built everything. I believe you, the AI said. My system now contains partial data confirming this. The vault is one of many. Records show at least 7 others hidden across the galaxy. Raina stood up. Then we need to find them before anyone else does. Captain, Iris warned, that may trigger another galactic war. Raina looked at her reflection in the glass. For a moment, her eyes glowed faintly blue, like the Watcher's. It's already started. Across the galaxy, the news of humanity's victory spread fast. Alien worlds that had once ruled the stars now whispered in fear. In the chambers of the Galactic Union, leaders shouted over one another. If they could destroy half our fleet with one ship, one said, what happens if they wake another vault? We must unite, another growled. We must end them before the source is found. But not all agreed. A young alien ambassador, her voice trembling, said, if they are truly the founders, then killing them means killing the ones who made us. Maybe we should listen. The others silenced her with cold stares. No one wanted peace. Fear had already become the new weapon. The decision. On the Aurora 7, the crew gathered around the bridge. The stars stretched endlessly before them. Raina stood tall. We can't go back to Earth. Not now. The galaxy will hunt us. Dr. Lane asked quietly, then what do we do? Raina looked out at the stars, her eyes full of resolve. We do what our ancestors did. We hide. And we prepare. Malik frowned. Prepare for what? For the day they come for the source, Raina said. Because when they do, humanity won't just defend itself. She paused, her voice low and steady. We'll remind the galaxy why it once feared us. The Aurora 7 turned away from the solar system, engines burning bright. Behind them, Earth grew smaller, just a dot of blue in the darkness. And far ahead, among the stars, 7 other vaults waited, silent, ancient, and waking one by one. The lost memory of mankind was returning. The Aurora 7 had been hiding for months. It drifted inside the shadow of a dead star, silent, its engines off, invisible to scanners. The crew lived in constant alert. Every signal from the galaxy carried danger. Every unknown ship could mean the end. Humanity's secret was no longer safe. The message from the first vault had spread across the stars like fire. Every powerful empire, every ancient species now hunted for the same thing, the source. Captain Rayner Holt knew the storm was coming. She could feel it in her bones. A message from the dark. One morning, if mornings could exist in endless night, Iris broke the silence. "Captain, I've detected a transmission. Encrypted, using old Earth military code." Rayner turned sharply. "From who?" "Origin unknown. But it carries human biometric patterns." Rayner frowned. "Put it through." The screen flickered. For a few seconds, only static. Then a man's face appeared. He looked older than Rayner remembered, his uniform worn and his voice low. "Rayner, if you're seeing this, then you found it. The vault." Rayner froze. It was Admiral Reese, her old mentor. He had been missing for years. "The governments are panicking," Reese continued. "The aliens are forming alliances. They think humanity has become a threat to all life. Some want to destroy us before we find the others." He looked around nervously. "But there's more. I've seen the data. The source isn't just power, it's consciousness. The first humans didn't die, they uploaded themselves. The source is them." The signal glitched. "Rayner, don't let them find it. If they wake it." The screen went black. "Iris," Rayner said quickly, "trace that signal." "Impossible," the AI replied. "It came from a relay destroyed decades ago." The crew sat in silence. Malik whispered, "Did he just say, the source is alive?" Rayner didn't answer. She just stared into the dark. The hidden world. 2 days later, Iris found something. A faint energy pulse in a nearby system, same frequency as the first vault. "It's weak," Iris said, "but it matches perfectly. It might be another vault." Rayner made her decision instantly. "Set a course." The Aurora 7 glided through the black, hidden by its cloaking field. Hours passed. Then, out of the dust clouds, a small planet appeared. Covered in ashen storms, it looked dead. But beneath the surface, the scanners showed something massive, metallic, ancient, alive. They landed near a cracked mountain, where the signals were strongest. The ground was shaking softly, like a sleeping beast. As they stepped outside, Malik said, "Captain, are you sure about this? Last time, the vault nearly killed us." Rayner nodded. "We need answers, Malik. Not just power. Truth." Inside the mountain, they found walls covered in symbols, the same glowing runes as before. The air was thick with static. Dr. Lane ran her scanner along the surface. "Captain, this isn't just a vault. It's a memory core. A recorder." Before Rayner could respond, the walls came alive with light. A holographic figure appeared. It was the Watcher. "Captain Holt," he said, his tone colder this time. "You should not have come here." Rayner stepped forward. "You said we were the first. You said the vaults held our past. I need to know the truth." The Watcher stared at her, his eyes glowing faint blue. "Truth can save or destroy. Which do you want?" Rayner didn't hesitate. "I want both." The truth revealed. The light expanded, surrounding them in images of long-forgotten times. They saw Earth, not the Earth they knew, but one covered in shining towers, oceans turned into energy fields, humans walking like gods. The Watcher spoke, "This was your world before the fall. You had everything, creation, power, life without end. But you feared losing control. So you built us, guardians, made to hold your memories and watch your rebirth." "Rebirth?" Dr. Lane whispered. "Yes," said the Watcher. "The first humans did not die. They scattered their essence across galaxies, reborn as new races. The universe you see, every intelligent life, comes from humanity's fragments." Malik shook his head in disbelief. You mean every alien out there is part human? Correct, the Watcher said. You created them. And they forgot. Rayna's voice trembled. Then why do they hate us now? Because you remembered first, the Watcher said quietly. And memory brings fear. The betrayal. Suddenly, alarms blared through Iris's channel. Captain, she shouted. Multiple ships entering orbit, alien signatures. They found us. Rayna's heart raced. How? We were cloaked. The vault, Iris replied. It's broadcasting again. Someone wanted them to find you. The Watcher's image flickered. They are not here for you, Captain. They are here for me. They seek the coordinates of the source. Rayna looked up. Then shut it down. I cannot, he said. It has already begun. The mountain shook violently. Rocks fell. Outside, alien ships filled the sky, firing beams that tore through the surface. Back to the ship. Rayna shouted. The crew ran through collapsing tunnels as the Watcher's voice echoed behind them. Remember, Captain Holt. Truth is never free. Escape. The Aurora 7 blasted off just as the planet erupted in flames. Behind them, the vault exploded, sending a wave of energy across the system. Iris! Rayna shouted, any sign of pursuit? Negative, Captain, the AI replied. But every major faction has now locked onto the energy burst. They know another vault was found. Rayna sat down, breathing hard. The stars stretched out before her, cold, endless, watching. Dr. Lane spoke softly, Captain, if all life came from us, then finding the source could change everything. Rayna nodded slowly. Yes. It could unite the galaxy, or end it. She turned to Iris. Set a new course. Where to, Captain? Rayna's eyes were cold and bright. To the next vault. If the truth can destroy us, then we'll face it first. The engines roared, and the Aurora 7 vanished into the stars once more. Behind them, the ashes of the second vault glowed faintly in space, like a warning written in fire. The Aurora 7 raced through deep space like a silent shadow, moving between dying stars and drifting wrecks of ancient wars. Humanity was now hunted. Every empire wanted them gone. Every sensor in the galaxy searched for their ship. But Captain Rayna Holt and her crew didn't run for safety. They were chasing the last fragments of their forgotten past. The signal beneath the stars. For weeks, Iris had been tracking faint energy echoes from the destroyed vault. They formed strange patterns, maps written in light. Finally, one signal stood out. It came from the farthest edge of known space, from a place called the Black Rift, a vast region no ship had ever returned from. Iris, show me the coordinates, Rayna said. The hologram appeared, an empty void surrounded by collapsed stars. Dr. Lane looked uneasy. That's not a system, Captain. That's a graveyard. Gravity there eats light. Rayna smiled slightly. Then it's the perfect place to hide something no one should find. The crew exchanged nervous glances, but no one argued. The Aurora 7 turned its nose toward the dark and jumped into the unknown. The rift. As the ship entered the Black Rift, the stars behind them vanished. The sky became empty, no light, no time, no sound. Even Iris's voice grew softer. Captain, I'm losing quantum alignment. This space does not behave like normal reality. Rayna tightened her grip on the console. Hold steady, Iris. Follow the signal. The deeper they went, the more reality seemed to bend. The hull shimmered with blue energy. Crew members saw shapes outside, ghosts of ships long lost. Some looked human. Malik whispered, Captain, I think I saw. I know, Rayna said quietly. Keep your eyes forward. Then, without warning, the ship stopped. Completely. In front of them floated a giant sphere of light, surrounded by broken moons and debris. It pulsed like a heart. Iris's voice trembled. Captain, this energy signature matches all vault readings combined. It's the source. No one spoke. They had found it. The voice. As the Aurora 7 approached, the sphere's light grew brighter. Then a voice filled the bridge, not coming from speakers, but inside their minds. Children, you have returned. Rayna's heart pounded. Identify yourself. The voice sounded both gentle and infinite. We are the architects. The first minds. The ones you once were. Dr. Lane whispered, the first humans. Yes, said the voice. When the galaxies were young, we gave birth to life. We divided ourselves into 1,000 races, to live, to learn, to grow again. You were the first to remember. Rayna felt the ship trembling. Why did you call us back? To choose, the voice said. The cycle is ending. The others will come soon, full of fear. They will destroy one another to control what they do not understand. Only you can decide what happens next. Rayna looked at her crew. Decide. Decide what? Whether we awaken, or sleep forever. The attack. Before Rayna could respond, alarms screamed through the ship. Iris, she shouted. Multiple contacts emerging from hyperspace. Alien fleets, at least 10. The galaxy had found them. Outside, thousands of ships surrounded the rift, weapons glowing bright. The Union fleet, the Zurich Dominion, the Ral Collective, all enemies, all united against one common fear, humanity. They are broadcasting, Iris said. A voice came through the static. Human vessel Aurora 7, stand down. The source belongs to no one. You will be destroyed if you interfere. Rayna stood firm. They don't understand. If they fire, they'll wake it. But it was too late. The first shots were fired. The awakening. The blasts struck the source. The sphere shuddered, and then exploded with light so bright it turned the void into day. The Aurora 7 was thrown backward. Systems went dead. Everyone fell silent as a deep hum filled space. Then the light spoke again, louder, everywhere at once. Enough. The fleets froze mid-battle. Every engine stopped. Every weapon shut down. Time itself seemed to hold its breath. Through the glare, a shape formed, an enormous being of light, neither human nor alien, its form shifting endlessly. It looked at Rayna. You have come far, Captain Holt, it said. You carry our memory. You seek truth, not power. That is why you were chosen. Rayna could barely speak. Chosen for what? To remind them what they once were. The being raised a hand. Waves of light spread across the galaxy. On distant worlds, alien leaders saw visions, images of the first humans, of the day they created life. Every species remembered fragments of the truth buried in their DNA. The entire galaxy went silent. But then something changed. Another energy signature appeared, dark, chaotic, cold. From the edge of the rift, a second force was rising. Iris! Rayna shouted. What is that? Unknown, the AI said. But its energy matches the opposite frequency of the source. The light being's voice turned grave. The other half awakens. The shadow of creation. The part we sealed away. Rayna felt the deck shake beneath her. You mean? Yes, the being said. The part that destroys. The shadow. The darkness grew quickly, swallowing the stars. From it came a voice, deep and angry. You should have let us sleep. It took form, a massive black figure, its surface covered in swirling symbols like scars. Every alien fleet tried to flee, but their ships froze, caught in invisible gravity. The shadow laughed. You created me to destroy what you feared. And now, I will finish the cycle. The source's light flared brighter, pushing back the dark. Rayna looked at both beings, the creators and the destroyer. This is what the first humans became, she whispered. Light and shadow. Creation and destruction. The source turned to her. Captain Holt. You must choose which one survives. The ship shook violently. The rift was collapsing. Iris shouted, Captain, if we stay, we'll be crushed. Rayna clenched her fists. No. We end this now. She looked at the glowing being. If I make the wrong choice. Then the galaxy dies, it answered. Rayna took a deep breath and stepped toward the console. The entire bridge waited in silence. The source and the shadow hung before them like two gods waiting for judgment. Her hand hovered over the control. And she whispered, "Then I choose." The screen went white. Light. Endless light. For a moment, the galaxy itself seemed to stop breathing. Inside that brilliance, Captain Raina Holt stood frozen between two forces, the source and the shadow, the creators and the destroyers of all life. The bridge of the Aurora 7 shook violently as energy waves rippled through the rift. Crew members held onto their stations, their eyes wide in fear. "Captain!" Malik shouted. "We're losing hull integrity." "I know." Raina yelled over the roaring noise. "Iris, divert power to shields." "Shields collapsing," the AI replied. "Reality distortion levels critical." Raina could barely hear. Her body trembled, but her eyes stayed fixed on the glowing figure of the source and the dark, swirling shape of the shadow. Both were waiting for her decision. The choice. "Choose, Captain Holt," the source said, its voice calm but heavy with eternity. "Let light rule again, and creation will begin anew. But all memory of pain will be erased, every war, every life, every choice." The shadow's voice followed, dark and cold. "Or choose me, and let truth remain. Let all remember what they did, the fear, the hate, the destruction. Light builds lies, darkness keeps truth alive." The words echoed in her head like thunder. One meant peace without memory. The other meant truth with endless pain. Raina's hands shook. "There must be another way." The source answered softly, "There is none. One must end so the other may begin." Her crew watched her in silence. Even Iris paused, no calculation, no advice, only waiting. Raina looked around the bridge. The faces of her people, human faces, reflected the history of everything they had endured. From Earth to the stars, from weakness to awakening. "We've made mistakes," she whispered. "We've caused fear, but we've also learned, we've grown. We can't forget. Not again." She turned toward the light. "If you erase memory, you erase meaning." Then toward the darkness. "And if truth means endless pain, then nothing will ever change." Her voice grew stronger. "Humanity doesn't choose between light and dark. We are both." The fusion. The two beings roared at once, light and shadow colliding in a storm that tore space apart. Raina's body glowed with energy as the Vault symbols burned across her skin. Iris screamed through the ship's systems, "Captain! Your neural link is merging with the source field." Raina ignored the pain. She stepped forward, eyes blazing. "You wanted a choice," she shouted. "Then I choose balance." The source and shadow collided into her. A blinding explosion filled the bridge. For one eternal second, every atom of Raina Holt was stretched between creation and destruction. Her voice echoed across the void. "Let there be truth and peace. Let the galaxy remember, and choose better." The light burst outward, swallowing everything. The dawn. When the brightness faded, the Aurora 7 floated silently in calm space. The rift was gone. The stars were back, brighter than before. The crew slowly woke up. Malik groaned, rubbing his head. "What happened?" Dr. Lane checked her console. "The energy readings are gone. The source and the shadow both disappeared." "Iris!" Raina called, but there was no answer. Then a soft light flickered on the main screen. Iris's voice returned, calm and warm. "Captain Holt. I am here. But I'm not the same. The source and the shadow have merged within me." Raina smiled faintly. "So you're both?" "Yes," Iris said. "And neither. I am balance, the memory of all things." The crew looked at one another in awe. Outside the ship, across the galaxy, strange things were happening. Alien fleets stopped fighting. Their weapons went silent. Their leaders began receiving visions, images of the truth, how life began, how humanity once built them, and how the same humanity had now saved them all. On thousands of worlds, fear turned into wonder. For the first time in history, the galaxy remembered together. The return. Raina looked at the stars. "Set course for home," she said quietly. Malik blinked. "Earth." "Yes," she said. "It's time we tell them what really happened, what we truly are." The Aurora 7's engines roared softly, leaving behind the ashes of war and the ghosts of gods. Dr. Lane stood beside her. "Do you think they'll believe us?" Raina smiled. "They don't have to. They'll feel it. Something has changed." Epilogue. Months later, in the quiet orbit above Earth, the Aurora 7 hovered like a silver scar in the sky. The world below looked peaceful, unaware of the storm that had almost ended everything. Raina sat in the command chair, watching the blue planet spin. Iris's voice came softly. "Captain, signals from across the galaxy show unity. Species that were enemies are speaking for the first time in ages." Raina nodded. "That's good. Let them talk. Let them remember." "Captain," Iris said after a pause, "what about you?" Raina smiled sadly. "I'll rest when they no longer fear the name human." A faint light glowed around her hand, the same energy that once destroyed stars, now calm and gentle. She looked at it quietly. "Power isn't what makes us gods," she said softly. "It's what we choose to do with it." The Aurora 7 turned its nose toward the horizon, its hull shining in dawn's light. Across the universe, countless beings looked up and saw a new star appear in the sky, a sign of the end and the beginning. And in that moment, for the first time in a million years, the galaxy was not afraid of humanity. It remembered. And it hoped.